So it's been a while since we've done a GameCube collection update. Of course, I was ordering games for the GameCube in an attempt to complete the collection, and that kind of went on hold since the next plan was to start going to local stores and conventions to pick more of them up. Mostly because, of course, COVID-19 shut a lot of things down, mail was all over the place, and it was pretty difficult to do anything I had planned for this GameCube series. But I did see something pop up online that I figured, okay, let's see how this goes later in 2020. And that was a deal that GameStop had the other day that was basically buy 8 games, get 3 of them free. So you pay for 5 and you'll get 8 total. Naturally, I go, okay, it's all used games. Does that include retro games as well? It does. So I picked up some GameCube games. I started to run out of games though, so I had to throw a Nintendo 64 game in because naturally it's like the cheapest 3 will end up being free. So it's like you might as well have, if you're buying a bunch of more expensive titles, you don't want to just get like a $5 or $6 game free. And at that point I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and pick up a Nintendo 64 game that's a bit more expensive. So the GameCube games that I get for free are like $20 and up. So I figure, hey, let's see what GameCube games GameStop sent me, the condition they're in, of course. There is one in here that a lot of you guys have been saying I should get, and it was a pretty good deal overall on GameStop's site because, of course, if you take all of the games and divide them by the amount that I paid, it is a lower average price than what is going for online. The question is, will I get the case, the cover art, the manual? Will the GameCube disc itself be in good shape? That's what we'll find out here today. So make sure you guys like the video so we can get back to doing some of these GameCube game collection updates. And of course, I have a lot of fun with them because the GameCube is like my favorite system overall from the past for retro games. So we're gonna keep going on and hopefully we can get back to going to some conventions and pick up some of these games in person. I think that'd be a really fun series overall. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. I will have to check the invoice that's in here and just cut off any information. Then we can take a look at some of the prices for these games. All right, there we go. Not a lot of bubble wrap in here. We got like some of the single balloon ones in here. Actually, that's it. It's just this one. I mean, I guess it's mostly, it looks like it's a lot of cases. That's great because a lot of times we might get sleeves, right? Where it's like just the game. I see one sleeve in here. There's the price for the 8 games, $275.55. With some of the higher end GameCube games I went for here with some of these, that's not bad. It's just gonna come down to if they are in cases or not. I do have some blank cases I can drop them in, which I will. But let's see, the first one is, we have Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This has this big sticker on the top here that hopefully peels off okay. Now, Billy Hatcher is a game I remember having back in the day, but I don't remember playing it a ton. I think it might have been one of my brother's games. And I remember he played it a lot, but I just never really got into it. Just stickers all over this thing. There's no manual, and it looks like what they're doing, of course, is they're just leaving the game in these sleeves when they drop them in. You know, that might be better. Now that I think about it, this has definitely been resurfaced hard. Like you see some of the stuff in the middle here. Yes, that'll be interesting. So what I'll do is I'll test these afterwards, and if you see gameplay footage here on the screen, that means that it worked. So here's hoping all of these games work. I don't know, do you think it's better to leave it in a sleeve like that and tuck it in the side here, or kind of put it on the spindle here so that it sits? I don't know, because I guess it can move like this, and it's not covered up on the back, so if it slides around too much, it might get damaged. I guess it's not too bad that it's on that it's in like the sleeve there. Yes, so no manual in this one, but we do have an actual GameCube case and the disc itself, so at least it didn't just come sleeved, and we have the cover art. So the manual is just something I'll have to find. And you know what? I actually thought about that. It is coming, it's on the way. It's like media mail shipped, which means it takes like 2 years to get here, right? But I did find a large lot of a ton of GameCube manuals and those little like health information pamphlets that go in there, like the white with like some black text on it. I found a ton of manuals in a big lot, and I bought them. They're pretty cheap, and that way I can fill out any of these that I find, and I actually think Billy Hatcher was one of the ones that was in there. Okay, next up we have Dragon Ball Sagas. Yeah. All right, so I didn't want to have to pay for this one. Dragon Ball Sagas is not a great game at all. I remember renting this one specifically. I was scrolling through GameStop site. A lot of their stuff was just out of stock for GameCube stuff. Oh, that actually came off pretty nicely for GameCube stuff. And I scrolled past and saw Sagas, and it wasn't gonna be my free game, but GameCube games in general are just getting up there in price. That includes Dragon Ball Z Sagas, by the way. This is like a $20 game or something now, which is crazy to me. And this is also one of the manuals. Oh, wow. This is also one of the manuals that will be coming in that pack. Again, no manual in here. The disc looks good. I'm not surprised because I feel like most people bought this game, tried it once, and then traded it in or just put it on their shelf and never played it again. So, hey, at least Dragon Ball Z Sagas is going to work most likely. I rented it myself, didn't like it at all, but I'm such a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I mean, I gotta get all the Dragon Ball Z games for the GameCube anyway. Even though I'd be playing more Budokai than anything, at least I have Sagas, you know, just in case. The next game is one that a lot of you guys told me I needed to pick up because I kept talking about it and I didn't have it, and that is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I had thought about buying this a couple of times, but like the bids on Gale of Darkness on eBay would just get up there so much higher than I thought it was worth. This on GameStop site just outright was $59. I have a little pricing here. It's $59, and then of course, if you average it out with the ones that were free, it becomes less than that even, which for Gale of Darkness is pretty good. However, this does not have the GameCube box itself. The game, we'll take a look at that. It does have the cover art, which actually looks all right, I think. And I do have a case ready to go because I was concerned that this one wouldn't have a case. Because of course we've seen, oh, actually a little bit of it's a little bit of damage on the cover. That's not too bad though. So I figure, okay, we have the game, we have a case for it. I have some of the health and information stuff for that. I just need to get a manual. This manual is not in that lot that I picked up. The manual for this will probably cost a little bit more, and I will most likely have to go to a trade show or a con to find just the manual on an off chance that somebody has an extra one. But the disc looks pretty good. It has been resurfaced, but not to the extent of Billy Hatcher that we just saw. That one looked like it got roughed up. But this one looks okay, and hopefully everything works all right with it. But yes, I have Gale of Darkness. I just got to get a manual for it, and we'll be good to go on that one. I liked Gale of Darkness, though, back in the day. It was interesting because they didn't put all of the Pokemon in there. I think there was only like 50 Pokemon or something in it, but it was cool because they tried to tell like an original story with it, and it was like kind of this full RPG. I liked it for what it was, all right? It wasn't like, you know, this big, massive Pokemon adventure, but just to be kind of this original, different thing, it was pretty cool. Well, we might as well get this one out of the way. I was kind of hoping for a case because I liked the cover art for this one, but it's not there. It is, it's F-Zero GX, all right? So I wanted to get F-Zero, of course, for the Cube because this is like, I think the best F-Zero game right here is F-Zero GX. Looks pretty good on the bottom. Again, not as crazy resurfaced as Billy Hatcher. This one doesn't look too bad overall, but F-Zero GX, by the way, if you have the HDMI module for it, for the back of your GameCube, in progressive scan, looks amazing. It looks so good. But yeah, I really liked F-Zero GX. I'm gonna have to find a case, cover art, and manual for it. But again, the prices for these were really, really good on GameStop, falling below the eBay prices, even before we get to the like buy 5, get 3 free situation and the membership that knocks it down. This was just a really good price overall. Actually, if I look at it, it was for F-Zero GX, this is actually one of the free ones. So there you go. All right, let's see. Next we have Killer 7. And I liked Killer 7 on the GameCube a lot. It was a super weird game, right? Even now, but like back then, think about that. Like all the games coming out for the GameCube at the time. And then there's this crazy game called Killer 7 that was super strange. Didn't make a lot of sense back then for being on the GameCube, but I really liked it. It was one of Capcom's big games that they dropped on there, and it was a multi-disc GameCube game. So we do have 2 discs here to check out, and at least it has the cover art. It has, of course, the dual disc GameCube case, which are a little harder to get a hold of, believe it or not. You have to really look around to find it if you need one. So I'm glad at least that is there. No manual, but I think the manual for Killer 7 won't be terribly difficult to find compared to some other rare games. So let's see, disc 1 looks good. Disc 2 should look great because as a lot of these multi-disc games go, of course, most people play the first disc and then not even get to the second one. Yes, so disc 2 looks very good, like almost flawless. It's just disc 1 that looks like it obviously was used more. So not bad. Killer 7 though still looks pretty good. I think it's just the overall cell shading look for it on the GameCube. So even though it doesn't look like it has progressive scan, it should still look pretty good going through HDMI. Okay, so this is one of the more expensive games that I grabbed. Again, I was trying to stack some of the more expensive GameCube games, so I would get something like F-Zero GX as an example for free, and that is Pikmin 2. All right, so I had to get Pikmin 2. It is one that I didn't get as much experience with on the GameCube. I rented this one weekend and that was it. So I'm actually excited to go back and play this now, just to see what I think about it currently, especially after spending more time with Pikmin 3. Once again, no manual, but we do have the GameCube case itself. This is going to be a manual that I think will be harder to find, okay? Pikmin 2 has shot up in value like crazy online. Let's see, I think that looks pretty good. Oh, that's interesting. It almost looks like it's gonna be kind of hard to see this. I hope this works. It almost has like, what kind of looks like I don't know if that's scratches on top here, or if that's kind of like a crack almost. There's two of them coming out here and it makes almost like this little point going that way. It doesn't look bad on this side, like the data's been affected, but this is one we're gonna see if it works. So if you don't see any gameplay footage right now, that means it's busted. Hopefully it's good to go for that, because this is a game I've been wanting to get my hands on, and of course it has the cover art, no manual, so I'll have to find that one. And the last GameCube game that I grabbed was Kirby Air Ride, and we played this like crazy back in the day. This is like, for like a lot of people played Mario Kart. No. We played Kirby Air Ride. It sounds weird, I know, but this game is awesome. I would love a sequel to Kirby Air Ride for like the Switch. That would be super cool to have that. But Kirby Air Ride, a game I've been looking for as well. It's, again, not complete. None of these had manuals, I just noticed that. This must have been a really bad trade-in that happened where I guess they just took the manuals out and threw them away or something, I don't know. But Kirby Air Ride, the disc looks good, has been resurfaced, but again, not to the extent of Billy Hatcher, it just got it bad, because that one looked like a Brillo pad went over it. This looks pretty good overall though, but yes, for everyone out there who played a lot of Mario Kart, we played a lot of Kirby Air Ride, and this is one of the few games that would take advantage of the broadband attachment as well. So that was also something really cool to have there, but I never got to use that. I don't even have that still. I should try to find one. But Kirby Air Ride is one that I will play pretty much immediately. And I did throw one N64 game in there, mostly because I got to the point where there were just so many cheap GameCube games left, and I wasn't gonna take a $10 one for free, right? So I wanted to, of course, get over a little bit on GameStop with some of that, but this is a 64 game I was looking for anyway, and they had it in stock, which kind of surprised me, but it is Pokemon Stadium 2. This is one of the few games on the Nintendo 64. I think there's like 4 of them. This uses a 64 megabyte chip. So this is one of the largest Nintendo 64 games. I think it's like this, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Resident Evil 2, and like strangely Paper Mario in Europe specifically, because they had a bunch of different language options and all of that in there. Actually, you know what, let's open this up. It looks good, the label looks great on the front. So I'm pretty happy with that. Overall, a little bit of, I don't know what that is, like some kind of residue there, but that'll come off pretty easily. But the label's not torn or damaged or anything, and even on the back, it looks good. All right, there we go. Nothing crazy going on inside, no rust, no obvious damage. I think this is just gonna be a really good looking copy of Pokemon Stadium 2. Yep, so there we have it. It looks good all the way around. The pins look very clean, which is nice. Sometimes you'll see them kind of corroded or anything. Nah, this just looks really, really good. The board even looks really clean as well. So yes, this is a good looking copy of Pokemon Stadium 2, not bad. All right, and that's gonna do it for, I guess, just our latest GameCube update on games for the collection, and a Nintendo 64 game for the collection. It's Pokemon Stadium 2, it was there. Why not? I had to grab it, especially because GameStop was picked over pretty well for GameCube games, and that's just kind of the way it is right now. GameCube games are just getting harder and harder to find. That's just it. Like, it's getting more and more expensive now to collect for it. So I'm gonna have to maybe accelerate the collection a little bit just to make sure I don't end up having to pay ridiculous money for some of these rarer games to find. But not bad. I'm pretty happy with what I got here for a little over, like I said, $250 or so. That's like $32 on average per game. And for some of the ones in here, if you start checking them out online, you'll be like, yeah, okay, that's not too bad overall for that pricing. But let me know what you guys think about these. I know I've seen some of you talk about how you've started collecting different systems and games now after seeing some of these videos, so let me know some of your recent pickups, I guess. It's been harder, like I said, to get out to stores and other places, even order online, but if you found anything recently, let me know down below for any of the systems. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like the video on the way out if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, and I'll see you next time.